What's up, everybody? I'm TJ. Today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2015, and I want to share a short video with y'all about redemption. Who were you before the world told you who you were? What did you want to be before society dictated to you what you could be? I think those are powerful questions. I want to read a piece of poetry for y'all. It's an autobiographical poem from Tupac Shakur, and it's called "The Rose That Grew from the Concrete." Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from the concrete when no one else even cared. I think that poem is powerful because the interpretation of the poem to each person that reads it is going to be different. The title itself, "The Rose That Grew from a Crack in the Concrete," it's going to show you that something that is inanimate, that doesn't typically bear life, concrete, that it can produce something beautiful like a rose. And I believe that the story within that poem resides in all of us. You know, the questions that I asked at the beginning of the video: who were you before you decided who you were? In some of these situations that we see people come out of, people can rise from dire circumstances and do beautiful things. I think that if we stay true to ourselves, that we can be anything we want to be. But you have to be careful along the way. You know, one of the questions was, who were you before society dictated to you who you should be? So let me use myself for an example. Society put me in a box, but I helped them. I had an equal hand in it. You know, letting things around me dictate who I was more than my own mind, my own soul. If you as a human being can rise from circumstances that are bleak, you are beautiful. Now, when you look at this piece of work, the artist, the reason why the poem is autobiographical is because of his circumstances. You know, the way he came into this world, his family, the things that affect all of us. Those of us who rise above our flaws, are willing to take accountability for our mistakes and right those wrongs, are people that are the exception to the rule. You know, it says, proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk. Some of us had circumstances when we were young that made it tough on us. But somehow, you know, you're still moving, you're still walking. You know, you learn to walk. just like the rose in this story. It says, funny it seems that it still held on to its dreams. On days when, you feel as though circumstances are against you, like things are so bad right now, how can I believe that it's going to get better? That belief in itself can carry you through those dark times. If no one else believes in you, you should believe in yourself. That rose didn't have any outside indicators to have it believe that it was going to survive growing through that concrete. Not only did it survive, it got up and walked. And it learned to breathe fresh air. A lot of times in life, the environment that we inhabit, the circumstances that we are born into, this small area that you are confined to, it can oftentimes seem to you like, I'm just going to go with the flow. When you breathe fresh air like the rose in the poem, you can get a different perspective. Part of that line is about being positive even when things aren't going right in your life. Long live the rose that grew from the concrete. When no one else even cared. I think that line is important because if you look around yourself and you see people in your midst, in your circle, that don't care for you, what does that say about you? What does that say about the world? No matter if the world cares about you or if it doesn't, it's on you to push forward. We have to be that change in society that we want. If you see wrongs out there and you know they're wrong and you don't move to change them, how can you point a finger? I think that the rose in this story took control of its own circumstances and changed its destiny. I feel the same way about myself. There were many times in my life when, due to my own choices, along with the way society is structured, that those things created a perfect storm to where I was destroying my life. And it comes full circle when you breathe that fresh air like the rose from the story. Because by breathing in that fresh air, the rose is getting new life. I could have continued to let the world that didn't care about me decide what I was going to be. Unfortunately, some of us do that. I feel as though the potential that lies within me lies within you. It's up to us as individuals to be able to dig deeply within ourselves and find it. Whether that be through spirituality, whether that be through educating yourself so you understand yourself a little bit better, or by helping others. I think that these things are integral in this story. I hope you guys enjoyed the poem. Please take the things that I have said as food for thought and go about your day and enjoy it.